Why do we want to change? Welcome back in the Live It, Lead It podcast, your brand new cast for business leaders, not only in IT, who want to achieve more in less time. When have you been asked the last time that you have to change? That you have to change your behavior? When was it? Either by your spouse or by your boss or whatever. When was the last time that somebody said, you have to change that? Did it work? Exactly. And we will talk about that today. If you are a leader in IT or you want to become one very soon, this is your program. If you are a business leader and want to grow personally, then this is your program. And if you want to improve your own performance and simply live a better life, then this is your program. Greetings from Europe to the successful people in the world. I'm your host, Olaf Kapinski, and let's together go back a little bit and chew a little bit on the intro question. When has somebody tried to change you? When have you heard the sentence, you need to change this? And I'm not necessarily talking about your business environment. It's family environment as well. When did your spouse just made some comments on behavior? Stuff like put the stuff in the dishwasher and don't leave it out there, and bring the garbage out. Da-dee-da. I'm talking about those types of changes, not the huge big ones. The huge big ones we just is something for the later day. But this is the request for you to change your standard behavior. And now be honest. How did it work out? And did work out? I mean, there is you can react in two ways, so to say, on this request. Let's stick to you put the stuff in the dishwasher. The one is you really change your behavior from that second on, because you have understood somewhat in your brain that just leaving the dirty stuff here and there and everywhere is not really nice. So you bring it there. So this is a change of behavior. But what we really can observe in most of the times is that this person who just got asked just puts the stuff in the dishwasher this time. And only that stuff that is, doable with minimal effort. And next time, you just hope for the best that she doesn't see it and you don't get slapped in your neck. Is this change? Or is this just disappearing from the situation? And that's the thing. We've spoken about motivation in the other episodes. If you receive the evil eye when you don't bring your dirty stuff into the dishwasher immediately, then you do it presumably only to avoid the evil eye. So that means as soon as the person who gave you the evil eye, man or woman or whatever it is not there, make a guess where the dirty stuff remains. Exactly, everywhere. So this is not a change of behavior. And my question is, how often did it work? And as I said, I believe it didn't work at all. And now we go back a little bit into your office environment. Or maybe that works even when you're a parent. What I've learned, it works even when you're a dog owner. When was the last time that you tried to change someone? When was the last time that you said you have to deliver this project plan without me asking for it and in time, da-di-da? When have you asked the kids to just do the bloody homework? This is a request for changing their behaviors. And now it's quite evident where I want to go to. How often did it work? Exactly. And believe me, if your employees from now on deliver exactly that project plan, then this is because they want to avoid that you shout on them again. You haven't changed their behavior. This is a big myth of some bosses, especially the weak ones, that they think if I command it, it happens. Yeah, it may happen, but it's not a change that happens. It lives as long as you stay in command and as long as you command. As soon as you are out of the office, nothing happens anymore. This is not a successful change that we want. So to me, a really huge learning is that you accept that people are as they are. You cannot change them. You can change nobody And I give you the end of the sentence in a minute. And I know this sounds a bit desperate, especially, we are business leaders and we have to change things and people have to do what we say and even they have to obey. That differs a little bit from culture to culture. And that's not what happens. Sorry to say, but that's not what happens. If you waste your time on force changes into the brain of peoples, then I always offer a turnaround. How does it work with yourself when your boss comes and wants this completely unreasonable, stupid status report every Friday? Will you do it? Sure, you will do it because you are smart. Will you do it as soon as he is for a week on vacation? No, it will just slip. And even if you do it, then you don't do it because you see any meaning in it, but you do it to avoid that he shouts at you. That's the difference of a behavioral changer. And you just do it because it has to be done and you want to avoid negative consequences. You cannot change other people. If you understand that and if you really believe in that, if you take this over, then you have the chance to get out of the suffering. Because we are not business leaders for fun. We are business leaders because we are creative. We want to achieve things. We want to do things. And if you burn your whole energy on changing the behavior of that employee, then you burn too much energy in the wrong things. He will not change his behavior. There is one person, one exception you have. And this is the main topic of today's episode. There is one person that you can change. Exactly. It's you. You are the one who decides that you want to put the dirty stuff directly into the dishwasher. And sorry to say, you are the one who decides not to do it. So don't be surprised when you get shouted at. Let's close a loop here that I opened in episode 2, Understood and Taken Goals. If we agree that only you can change your own behavior, then the question is, why would you change your own behavior? And I believe you only change your own behavior if the new behavior is more beneficial to yourself than the old behavior. And I'm not talking about that the external world calls this behavior more beneficial for you. I talk about that you, within the depth of yourself, of your subconscious mind, that you agree and accept that this new behavior is more beneficial. Where I'm aiming at, quite clear. Everybody tells you have to do more sports, less alcohol, less sugar, all of those things. And then you look out in the world and what do? Exactly. They do not do it. And I believe when you listen to a leadership podcast, you have not at all the excuse that you didn't know. You know what makes you fat. You know what makes you sick. All the information are out there, and people who are on such a level that they listen to leadership podcasts know those things. And still, it's not that my whole audience, me included, is just doing a triathlon before breakfast. No, we're not, because we're lazy. So, very often, my best option, or what's best for me, what I treat best for me, is just simply to just don't go out for a run. Just to switch on the bloody Netflix, because there is something that switches my brain off, and that brings me down into a zero attention mode, and I'm completely relaxed, and afterwards I go to bed. And I know it's only 10 o'clock that I go to bed, and then I should have worked, You change yourself when within yourself, when you understood, when you took it over, when you have changed your objective, when your new goal is to be more sporty, skinny, or whatever, and you can replace this health example with everything that you want. You will change your behavior immediately when you accept, or when you take over this new goal that you want to achieve. We all have been there. Back in the days when we found our partner. You can really see it that when singles become attracted to a new person, then singles' behavior changes. Big style. And that's true for females and for males. They all adjust themselves to court the attraction for the other, and then once it's there, da-di-da-di-da. So when you have a single friend and she or he just behaves strangely, my guess is it's just about someone else. Then the goals change. Immediately the goals change. Those people then just don't run around in jumpers the whole day anymore. They are just now becoming well dressed. Why? Because the goal has changed, and not somebody from the outside said, well, if you just run around only in a jumper and you just eat chips the whole day, you will never get you will never be attracted to anyone of the other gender or to the same gender. I don't care what's your preference. People tell you that and nothing happens. The action starts when the new goal is not said, so to say, in the outside world. The action happens when the new goal is taken over into yourself. And this is exactly the same in business objectives or in health changes or in personal changes in your own behavior. It's not that people are born as either people who behave well or as jerks. People decide to behave well or to be a jerk. It's only a switch in the button or a switch in the brain. So, if I say that there is only one person in life that you can change, if you agree to that, then we are back on the goals discussion. If you don't give your people, especially your employees, reasonable goals that are worth changing the behavior, make a guess what happens. They will just act accordingly to your commands, but as soon as you're out of the door, nothing will happen anymore. Maybe it happens because they know that you shout when you come back, but it's not that anybody changed the behavior because you commanded it. This is not what we want. This is really not what we want. We do not want to have an organization that kind of doesn't do apathically nothing when we are out of the door and only acts and does anything if somebody shouts at them. This is not what we want. What we want is the organization who understood what has to be done and then they just do. I'm not impressed. I have never been impressed by so-called managers who just work their asses off, 15, 16 hours days and stuff like that. I'm impressed by managers, by leaders who run the whole shop with 6 hours and then they go on the beach. Those people are the ones who really know it. The others are just, have no clue how to deal with people. And now let's go to the idea of this episode. If we agree that you can only change yourself, then this counts for all your employees as well. If we agree that you can change your behavior if you have taken over a different goal or you have adjusted your goals, and that counts for your employees as well. And then we are on the title of this episode. Why do we want to change? We have whole libraries full with models of how people act and react. The Myers-Briggs type indicators, the media models from NLP, my Reed model, the DISC model, all of that. The idea of those models is that you can, with very few effort in a very fast and a very short time, find out what the person that you're talking to needs and wants and what she or he doesn't want. So the special arts in good leadership is to pick the right people for the right task. It's not to hammer random people into tasks. This is third best option, if even. This doesn't work. This doesn't work on the long run. So why do we want to change? Because we want to be successful. I see two fields and two areas where it's critical for good leaders to be able to change their own behaviors. And the one thing is the employees. You work with different people, and when you can stop a friendship, that's quite a if this person who just came into your life and you don't want this person in your life anymore, you can just let it go. That's quite a fast process. In business life, you always have the working contract. There is always something in the middle, and here in Europe, and especially with me in Germany, it's extremely complicated to get rid of employees who are there longer than 2 years. I know this is We are a bit top-notch when it comes to employee protection, and I'm not opening the can of worms to discuss this here, but this is information for you. In Germany, you cannot, it's really complicated to fire someone, especially when it's on behavioral things. That's the reason why I think that the people around you in business life are longer around you in business life. You need to learn to deal with them. So, you can understand and you can read all of those things, how people tick, yes. And then it's your adjustment. It's adjustment of your behavior to, you need to change your own behavior to give those people what they want, to deal with them accordingly. This is what makes you successful. So that's, to me, the first reason. Changing our own behavior makes us by far more successful when we have different people that we work with. And it's not necessarily only about the people in your team. We all say after 3 years, you have the teams that you deserve. It is the teams that work with you, the employees that work with you. It's your colleagues, it's your boss, it's the customers, it's the external vendors. It's all types of people that you need to deliver successfully. So, and those people change. And the better you are in changing yourself to adjust your own behavior onto the needs of the other people, the better you are at that, the better the others become to change their own goals. That's the one thing. The second thing is, world turns faster. Not literally, not in a physical way. I think the Earth rotation hasn't changed much in the last time. But when you see what happens technology-wise, innovation-wise on the market, how borders disappear, and I'm not talking about country borders, I'm talking about market entrance borders. We can produce everything cheap in China. Yes, everybody can do that. I can start my online shop and immediately I have potentially 7 billion customers because everybody is connected to the internet, and I know that not everybody yet is connected to the internet, but this is the idea that goes through. 50 years ago, when you open a shop, well, then you open a shop on the street. And then you hope for the best, that somebody just comes into the door. Today, I can steer my customers into my shop because I just pay for Google AdWords. So, world has changed, and I don't know if it continues to speed up. My personal belief is that we will see a limit of the change speed, simply because I believe that the brain of mankind is somewhat limited of changing, of adjusting. But we are not there yet. So assume that the world changes, that the customers' demands change, that the desire for products change, that the customers are much more flexible to go somewhere else. New competitors come up. Especially here in Germany, we are very, very good with very, very big companies who are just producing the same stuff that they've produced 50 years ago. Still, old machine building companies. Yeah, it's top-notch, high class, but there is a reason why they fall apart within 1 or 2 years. They didn't saw it coming, the business worked well, and then somebody copied their stuff, and then they went bang. Why did they went bang? Well, because nobody saw it. We were successful. They weren't. The organization was not set up to change. And I believe this is a critical thing in today's business world. You have to change to be successful, but you have to have an organization where change is imminent. You have to have an organization where the trial and error is part of the genome set. I don't say it's allowed. It's part of the genome set. Failure delivers knowledge. So why do we want to change? In my world, because you want to be successful. Change equals successful. And that's the episode for today. Just click fast forward if you like. And if you really like, go to iTunes and give the podcast some stars. If you want, write me, olaf@liveitleadit.com. And then I hear you in the next episode. Bye for now.